If truth is recognition, the art of attention is more important than ever before. The art of attention repivots the focus of the church from hermeneutics to semiotics. Hermeneutics is the theory and practice of interpretation. Hans Georg Gadamer, 1900 through 2002, one of the most representative philosophers of the 20th century, developed a philosophical hermeneutics. But pop culture is filled with hermeneutics as well. Part of the enduring popularity of astrology during the modern period was its easy hermeneutics. Memorize the 12 signs of the zodiac, learn a little Greek cosmology, and remember the characteristics of a couple of planets, Mars and Venus will get you far, and presto, a hermeneutic for life. Christians were preoccupied with a different hermeneutics, the interpretation of biblical texts. Again, poet-artist William Blake prophesied the hermeneutic battles of modern Christianity in this little ditty. Both read the Bible day and night, but thou readst black, where I read white. Where hermeneutics is preoccupied with meaning, semiotics, or the art and sign of sign reading, is preoccupied with dancing. Semiotics is the art and science of paying attention. A spiritual semiotics is paying attention to what the Holy Spirit is up to in our world today. The future lies in those who can help others focus their attention and pay attention. Jose Ortega y Gasset once attended a Martin Heidegger lecture at a philosophy conference in Germany. When the lecture had concluded, Ortega chided the philosopher. "But Herr Heidegger, you have to treat philosophy much more freely, more lightly. One must dance with philosophy." Heidegger, knowing Ortega's reputation for electric eloquence, decided to ignore this publicly, but to offer an almost inaudible aside. "I really don't know what philosophy has to do with dancing." Charles Sanders Peirce, the philosopher who taught us the most about semiotics, outlined the dance steps of a semiotic triad: icon, symbol, and index. The dance of these three great orders of sign formation is the totality of semiotic relationships, he argued. But the founding statement of the field of semiotics is in Ferdinand de Saussure's Course in General Linguistics, published posthumously in 1915. You have to work hard to hear the music of the dance in these words, but they're there. Language is a system of signs that express ideas, and is therefore comparable to a system of writing, the alphabet of deaf mutes, symbolic rites, polite formulas, military signals, etc. But it is the most important of these systems. A science that studies the life of signs within society is conceivable. It would be part of social psychology and consequently of general psychology. I shall call it semiology, from Greek semeion or sign. Semiology would show what constitutes signs, what laws govern them. It was not the purpose of this book to elucidate and explore semiotic theory, but rather to remind us that Christianity is a symbol system, a semiotic network of stories and images, rituals and concepts, embodiments and enactments. The key to any symbol system is the semiotic ability to read signs. Humans have been called the speaking species. More accurately, we should be called the sign-reading species. A lot of species speak. The birds and the bees signal each other. They communicate. But only humans turn that communication into a sign and symbol system. We turn almost every signal into a sign, whether that signal be an emotion, an item, an idea, a song. For example, Adam was able to give a name to each of God's creatures. Adam even named himself, his wife, and God. Humans have the ability not just to speak and signal, left-brain functions, but to create signs about our signals, right-brained. Humans don't just use words, we create words, and we can communicate these created words, these signs, from one person to another. This is the beginning of culture. Jesus read the signs of his times, liked to communicate in the language of signs, and challenged us to learn sign language. In his resurrected body, Jesus does not appear in forms that are immediately recognizable. That's why evangelists learn to read his signature, recognize his markings, decipher his signs. Those who are really gifted in semiotics are those who have discovered the sacramentality of all creation. Semiotics is the currency of the gospel. In Augustine's Confessions, he addresses God as the divine beauty who reaches us through our five senses: hearing, sight, smell, taste, and touch.